3rd. It was kind of shocking to me that the people would stay in our community for 6 consecutive days.
Right. So what do we know about what they were doing? They were staying in a hotel, right? I mean, that was kind of surprising to me. I figured they would be hiding in a car, hiding in the woods somewhere.
That's correct. I thought it was a little unusual that they were at a hotel that was on a major thoroughfare in our community. And as our U.S. Marshals Task Force and the task force from Alabama, Mississippi were investigating, and as a police officer saw the second vehicle that had been identified as a possible suspect vehicle in the hotel parking lot. When our task force officers went to check in on this, the suspect saw them and fled briefly up Highway 41, and they were rammed by our task force officers. As you can see in the footage there, they're in a ditch. When we approached the vehicle, the woman had a self-inflicted gunshot wound, or at least it appears that it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound at this time. The other person had minor injuries, and they were both transported to local hospital.
What do we know about Vicky White's condition tonight? I mean, she is a highly skilled and trained law enforcement officer. She knows about weapons. I mean, if it was her intention to take her own life, how serious are her injuries tonight?
I would say she's in grave condition at this time.
You think she is going to make it?
Well, I'm not a physician, but I think she's in a very serious condition right now.
Okay, and what about Casey White? How badly was he injured in the crash, and is he cooperating?
His injuries were not that bad.
And is he cooperating?
At this time, yes, he is.
Okay, and can you tell us anything about what you've learned in talking to him?
Well, we will take him to our operations center. We haven't had a lengthy conversation. He was taken to a local hospital. He will be interviewed by our detectives. There's people from the FBI involved in the Marshals Task Force as well. So we will learn more overnight.
Do you have any idea why they chose your community to stay for 6 days? Their ties there?
I have no idea. It's almost amazing that somebody that's on the run, somebody with that much notoriety, would stay in one place for 6 consecutive days. But they are criminals, and criminals usually make poor decisions and meet their own demise.
So whose jurisdiction is this now? Is it now your jurisdiction? Is it the U.S. Marshals? Is it the Sheriff's Office out of Alabama?
Well, in our community, they didn't really commit that many offenses. So we will gladly let them be extradited back to Alabama, where the more serious charges will be taking place. We will consult with our prosecutor to determine what, if any, charges that we will tack on. But I think he's facing plenty from the state of Alabama.
And what can you tell us about the vehicle they were traveling in? Was it stolen? Was it reported stolen? Do we know anything about that?
It wasn't reported stolen, and they may have purchased it, but it was not reported stolen, to my knowledge.
Anything else that surprised you about this case? I mean, obviously, the law enforcement depended heavily on the community, on tips. Their photos were out there. Their surveillance video was out there everywhere. And then ultimately it ended up being a car wash that, ended this 11-day manhunt.
Well, this is a prime example of generally the community help law enforcement solve many more crimes that we could solve on our own. Without the initial help from the car wash owner, we would have nothing to go on. So we commend him for his quick action. And then as a police officer, spotted the second vehicle in the hotel parking lot. So that officer acted quickly and notified us so that we could seek these people out.
Have you, in all your experience, ever seen anything like this before, where you're chasing down a fellow officer or now former fellow officer?
I don't remember chasing fellows, but from time to time, some police officers go bad and they commit crimes like anyone else in the general public. Thank goodness it's rare, but it does happen, and it is a sad day for all of us.
And now that you know that they've been there for a number of days, do you have any other indications about what they were doing? Were they just holed up in the hotel, or do you have any other leads or information about what they may have been doing in your community all this time?
Yeah, it's interesting because with the high profile nature of this case and with the person being approximately 6'9", he's certainly going to draw a lot of attention wherever he goes. So we didn't get many reports of them out and about. So I'm not sure when they went out, how they got their food, or what they did, or even how long they were at the hotel. But as we interview him, we hope to find some of those answers.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time tonight, Sheriff Wedding. Thank you.
Thank you.